Elsewhere in the business of sports, the fast fashion sports merchandise company Fanatics is buying 75% of Mitchell & Ness for $250 million. Fanatics has teamed up with celebrities like Jay-Z to seal this deal and expand its empire with Mitchell & Ness, who's known for its throwback pro team merch. The Fanatics had a huge presence at the Super Bowl last weekend in Los Angeles, and so did FaZe Clan. They gifted this chain to Snoop Dogg. It's what he's wearing around his neck there in that picture. That was for the Super Bowl halftime performance. FaZe Clan is going to make its public debut on the NASDAQ under the ticker FAZE in a $1 billion SPAC merger deal sometime this year. FaZe Clan is an influencer marketing agency, e-commerce company, and an esports team all under one roof. The multifaceted company revolves around gaming and Gen Z culture. Here in a Fox Business exclusive is FaZe Clan founder and CEO Lee Trink. Hey, Lee, it's great to have you on the show.
Hey, Cheryl, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You've got a lot going on as a company. Let's start. Let's start with this move to go.
Do.
Yeah, let's start with this move to go public. What kind of timing are we looking at here for the IPO?
So look, we're moving ahead. We're on track, and probably something that's likely to be in, let's say, the next several months is what we're tracking towards.
Is the SPAC environment kind of giving you pause right now?
Look, obviously the SPAC market has been challenged, but I think SPACs are made for companies like ours. I think that, a company like ours, we need the ability to really explain what we are, and the SPAC vehicle, it gives us the ability to do that.
All right. Well, let's talk about what you are, because you're a lot of things, as I mentioned in the introduction to you.
Yeah.
But, really for you, it is the youth market. We're going to get to Snoop Dogg in a second, but it's the youth market for you. You're capitalizing on that younger fan. I never had heard of FaZe Clan, but I'm sure that, my niece has. She's 12 years old. So let's talk about that. How do you monetize what is a tough to reach audience, which is that young audience?
Yeah, I think the first thing is, we're in conversation with Gen Z every day, right? This generation, look, I think all youth generations have their own twist on how they want to be communicated with, and I think that's remained, consistent and evolutionary over the course of different generations. But Gen Z is really kind of started with more of a blank canvas, and the things that older generations have cared about just don't, a lot of those things don't matter. And so we're in a daily and consistent conversation with a huge audience, really, at this point, where our network is like 400 million followers. And we speak to them daily. We speak to them in their native tongue, in the platforms that they live on. And so we're in constant conversations. So it's given us the ability to just commercialize that relationships by bringing, blue chip brands like McDonald's or Nissan or Beats, and introducing them to our audience. And then there's direct ways we commercialize, like with our apparel.
Okay, so you're commercializing with the apparel, but what about the sponsorships? Like, for instance, the chain that Snoop Dogg wore. I'm assuming that that's something that you had to pay for. I'm assuming.
I will say you're actually assuming wrong on that part. So, Snoop has been in our orbit for a long time. Our chief strategy officer, Kai Henry, has a long relationship with Snoop and has begun talking to him about FaZe really for several years, brought in Snoop's son Cordell into the conversation. And we're certainly exploring what a relationship looks like. But the reality is he kind of just blessed us with wearing that chain. And there's no deal that was predicated on it. And I think that it was sort of another moment that showed how this Super Bowl was the moment when Gen Z rose to power. And I think you saw that within the halftime show. You saw that with the fact that, Snoop and what he wore that day was all the things that represented him. Snoop is almost like the original gamer kid. He's like the original internet kid.
Yeah.
He's been a gamer and champion in gaming for a long time. And so, look, I think we're humbled to see that he
Sure.
was, that's part of what he wanted to present to
Well,
the world.
hey, he's my generation too. Like I was a Snoop fan, so it's me and Martha Stewart. Real quick, e-game, having an e-game on the cover of Sports Illustrated, getting a mainstream brand like Sports Illustrated to really, get into this whole. I mean, that's huge right there. Talk to me about this. How meaningful is this cover?
It was immensely meaningful because look, I've been in this space for some time, and part of the dissonance was how big the space was, how important it was, how important we were as a brand to this huge community. But the reality is the traditional world was what I used to say is blissfully unaware of it for some time. And so what Sports Illustrated did was it was able to translate to those people that didn't understand gaming, that certainly didn't understand FaZe, how important we are to sports overall. And so it was, it was certainly a seminal moment for us to really demonstrate the importance of the space and the importance of FaZe Clan within it. And I think that all gamers and gaming companies celebrated that moment as finally being recognized for the importance that we play within pop culture.
We got to run, Lee, but I tell you what, the Super Bowl this year looks so different from the advertising, from the who sponsored the parties, from the halftime show, all of it. It was a very, I think, very forward-looking Super Bowl, and I'm sure the NFL is happy about that as well. And you, Lee Trink, keep us posted on the IPO. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Talk to you soon. All right.